Fox 10 Gulfstream. This is Next Weather.
We thank you for tuning in to Next Weather. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. Lower humidity will make an appearance in the coming days after some rain that's coming this weekend. My meteorologist Michael White is in to show us that. Might be a very short-lived temperature drop. Michael?
Hey, Nick, good to be with you. You're doing a great job filling in for Jason for the rest of this week. I know he and Matt are enjoying being off for spring break. Yumi and Jen are having to hold down the fort around here in the Storm Tracker Center. But I'll tell you, it looks like things are going to stay muggy for the rest of the week, although this dip in temperature coming at the beginning of the week may be a temporary one. I know you've mentioned rain chances that are coming up this weekend. Let's go through the weather headlines first. Fog redevelops overnight. Air stays humid for now. What about the weekend storms? Well, we go through the future cast, and we're going to be dealing with muggy, humid air for the rest of the night tonight with a little isolated rain. Fog could be an issue overnight and into your Friday. Rain chances do stay low, but look what happens as we go into the weekend. The chances of rain get better. This is Saturday. It will be cloudy. Chances of rain and thunderstorms increase by Saturday afternoon. It's not going to rain everywhere, and it looks like most of those storms will be north of I-10. Same thing with Sunday. That's Sunday morning at 7. That's the day we have the biggest rain and storm threat. However, most of it will be up around I-10 and points northward. That means if you're along the coastline, you will end up much drier with less of a rain chance, but we are expecting to at least dodge a severe weather bullet this time. The severe weather probabilities are going to be low to non-existent, which is good for us. But if you're north of I-10, you'll have the best chance for finding showers and storms. Here's a glimpse at how things are going to be as we transition into the long range. That's the 7-day I went with this morning. So you can see I did have the bump in rain chances and storm chances for the week. This is what I wanted to show you. This is the GFS Ensemble. This is the long-range American Model Outlook. Now, these are not the exact temperatures we're going with in our forecast at Fox 10, but it gives you the raw model guidance to sort of see the trends. And you can see the trends are after this dip coming early next week, it's going to be very humid for the rest of April and as we begin May, almost like an early start to summer, with mornings getting back in the mid to upper 60s to wrap up the month and highs in the mid to low 80s. Of course, we'll be watching those trends over the next several days. I do hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night. I'll be back on Good Day Gulf Coast bright and early tomorrow. So, Nick, you hold down the fort, and make sure you tune in to Nick tonight on Fox 10 News at 9 o'clock.
And Michael, they are looking long range. I thought I would continue the trend, look into hurricane season. A quick reminder, we are less than 45 days away from hurricane season. Here's the name list. And I wanted to show you this Colorado State forecast came out a few weeks ago. It is incredible. A 23 name storm forecast from Colorado State. That's blows the average out of the water. That blows the name list out of the water. Now, it does not mean anything for land impacts. We could see half of these things go out to sea, most of these things going out to sea. But it's just something to keep in mind and something to pay attention to as we approach hurricane season. Make sure you have your plan in place. One of the ingredients that's driving all of this, warmer feel in the Atlantic. You saw it said it, warmer Atlantic. Look at these temperatures above average indicated in the orange. And you see this little batch of blue here. That's a developing La Nina, which will kick the temperatures down in the Pacific. And that's going to help us with some wind shear, reducing the wind shear. So I guess not helping us. That's going to create a more favorable environment in the Atlantic for tropical systems. Zooming into it here. 1 degree above or higher right now in any areas that you see this kind of yellowish orange, that deeper yellow and the orange. That orange is actually 2 degrees above, and this is in Celsius. So that's definitely a warm Atlantic out there, and this is the main development region where systems form. Will this stick around into hurricane season? It's looking pretty likely, at least the forecast models are indicating that, the long-range forecast models. But we'll just have to wait and see more cooler anomalies once you get towards the subtropics and pockets of warmer anomalies in the Gulf of Mexico. So as I mentioned, that Colorado State forecast 23 would knock out this name list all the way from Alberto to Isaac to Milton. Milton's a new name. And then all the way to William. We would have to go to the supplemental list, which is a secondary list now that we use. We no longer go into the Greek alphabet. They have decided to create this name list here that we would go to. So if we exhausted the name list there, we would go to this one. Adria is the first one on the supplemental list. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, no issues here on the Gulf Coast. Just a little bit of rain coming on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday looking fantastic. It will be very nice, a little bit drier out there. Sunny and 75 for Monday, sunny and 79 for Tuesday. Clouds return Wednesday, Thursday. Your 10-day outlook shows a little bit of a warming trend next week. We'll be back to the 80s by next weekend. We thank you for joining us here on Next Weather.